We have a question from Jordan, one of our regulars. Hey John, can working without authorization prevent you from getting a green card if you're married to a U.S. citizen if USCIS finds out? Well, they're going to find out because you tell them. So when you're married, first of all, you always have to be honest, so you can't lie. So the rule is this. If you're married to a U.S. citizen, unauthorized employment does not prevent you from getting a green card per se. If you're married to a green card holder, it can. And this is for adjustment of status, applying for a green card in the United States. If you go do it through the embassy, then that per se isn't a problem, but the rules are more strict if you're applying for a green card in the United States with Form I-485 adjustment of status, where they say if you have unauthorized employment, but you're married to a green card holder, getting a green card in that way, they will deny your case. But if you're married to a U.S. citizen, they won't. However, there's other aspects to it. And when you work in the United States, many times like corporations and companies, you have to fill out a form called Form I-9. And in that form, they ask you what your work visa authorization, green card status, or citizenship is to see if you're authorized to work based on the immigration laws in the United States. Now, if you fill out that form and say you're a U.S. citizen, that prevents you from not only getting a green card, but most likely will lead to be deported from the United States. So say you're married to a U.S. citizen, and you should tell them, you got to be honest on the forms, and you tell them, normally they won't care, but if they ask for any previous I-9s and they see that, that's a big problem. Another problem that emerges is this. For example, you come to the United States on a visa waiver program, or even a tourist visa, and you work without authorization. You go and then you apply for a new visa, and on that visa application it asks, have you ever violated your visa status before? And you say no, but you have. And so now later on when you get married to a U.S. citizen, even though previous unauthorized employment by itself is not a problem, fraud is. So if you fill out a visa application and you didn't tell them that you had violations, maybe if you told them it'd still be okay, but if you don't tell them you have violations, that means you lied on a previous visa application. That's a misrepresentation or fraud, which should come back and be problematic later. It just pops in my head. There's several levels of complexity. And a lot of times when I ask clients, like, what did you say on this visa application 6 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever, they don't remember. And we have to do a FOIA request many times, a freedom of information request to get that information. And so it gets very complicated because I see online, and just like the example I gave earlier when someone's family friend was helping them file for a green card, a lot of times, you know, there'll be forums where I'll post and give advice on green cards. Someone inevitably comes up and say, oh, you're just trying to steal people's money, you're trying to scare them into hiring a lawyer, you're fraud, you don't need a lawyer, it's just paperwork. You don't know how many times every day I see and people contact me because they made these mistakes. So when I hear people say it's just paperwork, frankly, majority of people are okay and they do it themselves. But there's a percentage that get messed up like this, and they call me, and I literally get the calls every day. So I have a real understanding of the problems that emerge, even though it's probably a minority of them. It doesn't matter if it's a minority of people, if it's going to happen to you. So you really want to analyze the case and try to spot issues before they happen and try to prevent those, prepare for them, and just know what's going on. And that's what my job is as an immigration attorney, is to really kind of spot this stuff. And you know, it's more than just the forms, because as you said, as you saw, like there's different forms for different prospects if you're doing the US or overseas. There's potential misrepresentation that pops up all over the place, and they're very strict on this interpretation. And then so there's more depth than that. So that's a long answer to your question. If you know, working without authorization prevents you getting a green card. In most cases, if you're marrying a U.S. citizen, it won't, but we got to double check the other factors that could come into play. Thank you for watching this educational program. To get the latest videos, click the subscribe button and the notification bell icon. Also, help us help the immigrant community by liking this video and sharing it with your family and friends. You can also find us on other social media sites like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter, where you find the latest updates on immigration news, policy changes, and tips. Be safe and God bless. See you soon.